Hello friends! I'm up close and personal with you this morning, and it is morning. It's probably 7:45 on Saturday, September 14th. So Friday the 13th was yesterday, and I attempted to record, but as soon as I turned on my camera, I broke it. So I'm not sure what that's saying exactly. Let's just go with it. It's Friday the 13th. But many blessings came from actually having to go and get a new phone. And I decided to do something a little bit different today. I am going to talk a little bit about spinning. I'm going to show you, this is my antique spinning wheel, and her name is Cynthia. She is a Canadian production wheel. So I didn't introduce myself, but I'll get to that in a minute. We're just going to get all fixed up here and make sure everything's even, but I still only have 30 minutes to record, so I'll just keep talking. In the knitting, spinning, fiber arts community, I hope y'all can hear me fine, these wheels are called CPWs. So that's, you might see that on Ravelry. And they were made in Quebec, and it's thought that they were made in the late 1800s up to the 1920s. And she was given to me as a gift by someone who didn't have room in her home and thought that I might be able to provide a good home for her. And within the last week or two specifically, I have thought about what a shame it is to save things. I don't have china. I don't have good china. I have one good tea towel that I won't use, but I do keep it on display because a very special friend made it for me. But I use everything. And I do use this wheel, but only from time to time. And what I was contemplating was how she just stays in my fireplace room. I call it my keeping room. And really, unless you're a guest in my home, no one gets to enjoy her beauty. And so I thought it might be a really special time for me to bring her out and let others enjoy her and not just myself. I felt a little stingy for just keeping her to myself. So what that brings about is a little bit of fear that something might happen to her. And then that made me think about fear in general. And then that made me think about, we can't be fearful. I mean, we're going to be fearful, but do things anyway. You know, just take extra caution, do what you can, and know that your purpose behind what you're doing is greater than your fear. Wow, let's just go straight to deep thought, shall we? So, welcome to A Hopeful Holler Makes video podcast. If you've stuck around so far, you know sometimes the beginnings are a little bit off, a little bit off the wheel, so to speak. That I'm done. So I just realized my bags are over here. So excuse me, enjoy this lovely scenery while I walk away for a split second. Hello again. So, I am a little fancier than I normally am when I do the video podcast, primarily because today we are kicking off our North Texas yarn crawl, and I am coming to you from Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm excited to say I get to go to West 7th Wool and purchase some beautiful fiber by Leon Alexander. You gotta check him out. He has some really cool wild colors, and I think I need to knit up or spin up some sock yarn on Cynthia and knit up some really cool wild colored socks. I need that for this year, I think. And then after that, I'm gonna be hanging out with Juju Knits at Three Danes Bakery near South Side here in Fort Worth, and I'm going to be doing spinning demonstrations with Walker Wool that I literally was there for this sheep's shearing. Well, all the sheep shearing this year, but this particular sheep is named Princessita, and her mama was Princess. And so they were shorn in April, and it was such a blessing to be able to be there and not just witness, but participate in the actual shearing. So today I do have a few finished objects, but not a lot of knitting. I've really been focused on my spinning because I do want to knit more with my own hand spun, and it's just that desire has been stronger and stronger and stronger, and so I must surrender. So how are y'all? I never even said. This is a video podcast all about the fiber arts, deep thoughts, and my love for the band Blue October. So I put that at the end if you're interested. If not, carry on and have a blessed day. So to begin the fiber arts, we will start with these finished objects. I have in here a lot of spinning, and I'm going to get up and down here for a few seconds because I know I need to come in close. This is a little bit further because I wanted to show Cynthia, and I'm actually going to be spinning here in just a second, so I'll just get up and down. So I know it'll be kind of blown out, but this is approximately 4 ounces of Shetland fingering weight yarn that I did within the last couple of weeks. I'm really proud of that. That will eventually be a sweater. And this is a hat I made while I was trying to get a good rhythm for the yarn and the dimensions, the thickness of my sweater yarn. And so this hat is made for my husband. And you know what? I would say that I'm super prepared for this podcast, but I'd totally be lying. I don't even remember the name of the hat, which is not helpful to y'all at all. I'm so sorry. I took a picture of the hat, and it is on my Instagram. The picture is. So what I'll do is I'll go back and edit my Instagram if you're interested, and I will give you the name of this hat. It's a free hat pattern on Ravelry, and I made it a little bit shorter because my husband has a really small head. But it was a very quick, easy, great for hand spun or any kind of woolly wool like that. So that's the Shetland fleece, and like I said, I have a lot of spinning. There's other spinning on other wheels. Sadie Grace is here. She's checking out the wool. She loves that. Sadie, no. And there's just some singles that I spun up, again, of Shetland, and I need to ply that together to make yarn. And it'll just be kind of like a mini. I'll use it possibly in color work or something. But I wanted to show this willow basket. I'm not sure where my dad got this. He may have even made it. I don't know. But it's a willow basket that I just think is precious. And I've been putting it on the end of my spinning wheel here to keep my hook. So I use this hook, if you're not familiar with spinning, to pull the yarn through the hole. So when I worked at the Log Cabin Village here in Fort Worth, a 19th century living museum, one of the main things that was asked of me is, how does the yarn get on the wheel in that whole process? So I think what I'm going to do is I need to do another video where I can show up close that whole process. But anyway, I had to show you the little basket because it's so cute, and I'm going to have it today, and I think it just fits perfectly with the theme of this old antique wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and start spinning and talking a little bit about the history of spinning wheels. So please forgive me as I look down, because I can't do this while I look at the camera too. Over the years, I've Googled, and I know that there's a few books out there that talk about the history of the wheel. Please forgive me, Abby Fragmont. I've not read Respect the Spindle, but I bet there's a lot of history in there that I should know. So what I know, I will tell you. I've just gathered up. You know what I just realized? This hook actually doesn't go through the orifice, the hole of this particular spinning wheel. I have 4 spinning wheels, and I just made an assumption that that was going to work. So here I am learning something on the fly with my peeps. It's just like if we were in a spinning group together. I like that. I hope you do too. So what I'm doing is I'm looking, for a handy dandy little crochet hook. That also works. And this one is a much smaller diameter. So I can fit that right through there, through the orifice, and it pulls my yarn. I wish you could see what I'm doing, but got it. So everything I know, I've just learned over the course of the years in research online and library books and things like that. So take that for what it's worth. But it is my understanding that the very first actual spinning wheel, as we know it almost today, but I believe it had a spindle, kind of like in Cinderella, was found in Asia in the 1500s, 15 to 1700s. Before that, drop spindles or supported spindles were used, and they are known as one of humanity's oldest tools, which makes me kind of misty. It gives me a sense of connection to humanity and its ever-changing ways of showing up in the world. So when I worked at the village, it really, really hit me that all through history, these have been used up until the Industrial Revolution. By these, I mean spindles or spinning wheels. And to me, though I know our fiber community values and hasn't lost this tradition, I am concerned, and I do feel very purposeful in sharing this and passing it on to younger generations, because what I gain from the gift, not only of having tools to create fabric, but the value of peace, flow, meditation, all of these things I think need to continue to be passed on to everybody, not just kids these days. I meet adults all the time who have never seen a real life spinning wheel work. And so I feel like that's just part of my job in life, and it is one that I take as a great honor. I take it seriously, not heavy, seriously, but I just feel like it's such a calling on my life. Just like some people may be heart surgeons, and I'm so thankful they're heart surgeons, or people working towards finding a cure for cancer. So I've felt at times that my callings are not of great value. But recently, more and more, I'm coming to realize that our artistic endeavors are so very important. Oops, I just broke that thread. And by we, I mean all of us. Here's my crochet hook. All of us being and doing. I dropped that crochet hook. It's in the bottom of my bag. Y'all know how that goes. And now I can't see because I'm all misty-eyed. I'm a little teary. Just the importance of us all showing up, being who we are, and living out the calling we have on our life for a greater purpose than ourselves. So, I think just, I've been using the word magic a lot lately, and I think sometimes that can be a very divisive word for some reason. But it does feel like magic when we begin to do the things we're called to do and see the little blessings that maybe nobody else would even recognize, but you know in your heart, and your heart kind of leaps. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. I bet you do. Like this morning I showed up here to the Walkers, and right by the keypad to enter onto their property, there's this amazing, beautiful garden spider, also called an orb, O-R-B, orb spider. And dadgummit, it broke again. So this happens sometimes. When it breaks, I'm going to stop talking and keep explaining what I'm doing here. Since you can't see, when it breaks from time to time, what happens is either I've let the thread get too thin and it breaks. More times than not, I didn't allow enough twist into this area called the drafting zone. And that's where the two pieces come together and the twist energy connects it, binds it, and it keeps it from breaking. So let's try this again, shall we? So I'm going to treadle a few times and allow that to really bind. Good job, Michelle. So anyway, back to what I was saying. The history of spindles and spinning wheels. I feel like it's just part of my calling on my life to continue to carry this out. And so, what can I say about it? I had all of these things planned in my head, and now I'm sitting here spinning, and I see we're already at 18 minutes. I hope I've said something of value. I hope you're enjoying the spinning wheel. I'm going to be very honest. So I have a dear uncle, and he's in hospice right now. And my cousin texted me last night and said he was in a very fragile state and that she and my aunt are staying up with him. So I anticipate that within the next 24 hours, he will be going home. And it is a beautiful full moon, and there are lots of feels. I have lots of feels. And I only got a few hours of sleep last night. But again, because it is so important for me to share the gifts of spinning and the gifts of finding whatever art it is that fills your heart with joy and allows you to share. Maybe not even share. I mean, I've had that too, where there are things that I do that are just for me and my own sanity and healing, and I think that that's okay too. So I don't want anybody to hear me say that you have to share everything that you do, but if you do feel that call, I just really encourage you to do that. There are always schools that are happy to have you volunteer, or nursing homes, or museums, all sorts of opportunities to share. And so I'm super excited because my uncle has some sweet grandchildren that are my second cousins. And one of them is a senior, a boy, young man, and he's a senior in high school. And he is super excited because we are arranging a time for me to come and bring my book called Sophie's Masterpiece, about a little spider who's an artist. I think I've mentioned her before here. And do a spinning demonstration with Cynthia, my wheel. And I just think, wow, I would have never thought in a million years that, first of all, I would be teaching anything. But just the blessing it is to be able to connect with my cousin's son, a senior boy who's super stoked about yarn and fiber. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's awesome, right off the sheet. So anyway, I see we are already at 21 minutes. This is a babbling podcast, but one that I hope has brought you some value. So I'm gonna move on from deep thoughts and go, hi Sadie. I want to see Sadie real quick. Come here, Sadie. You want to say hi? You want to say hi to your adoring public? Hi. She loves to give kisses. Let's get up close. You want to see yourself? Say hi. Oh, okay. Hop down. Oh, she's looking for her playmate. So I'm going to get into Blue October real quick. If you follow me on Instagram, you may already know, I got to go to Waco. My sweet husband bought me a ticket. Justin, the lead singer of Blue October, was in Waco, and he does something called Open Book. And the way, oh, baby, that's going to hurt. She's putting her face up by the flyer. Yeah, I bet you won't do it again. Anyway, so I drove down to Waco, and I got to see Justin. And the way I describe Open Book is like a entertaining, an entertaining, beautiful testimony of his life, and sharing his story and what he's been through and how he's gotten where he is today. And he shares the music and the stories behind some of his songs as he does that. And this was my third one that I've been to. Sadie Grace, go play, girl. And it's always amazing to me how people bond so quickly over that. Over hearing someone else share their story. And so all of that has given me encouragement over the years to be a little bit more open publicly. With small groups and things like that, I've been open. But, and when Me Too started coming out, hashtag Me Too came out, I shared a few things. But I just thank y'all very much for coming back. If you have, if you're new here, it's not always quite so serious. Although today there is a lot on my heart and a lot to be grateful for, and I just feel very blessed and very humbled that I have this amazing, wonderful, antique spinning wheel that's been through so much, and I get to share it with lots of people here in Fort Worth. And I just continue to look forward to the opportunities that I get to have to share and to hear other people's stories about how the fiber arts in Blue October, if you're here from Blue October, friends and family, how those have helped to bless your life. Because as we know, it's not always rainbows and unicorns. But those rainbows and unicorns are always around, I believe. We just have to look for them. So, on that note, Sadie says goodbye. And I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. I'm going to look at my notes real quick to see what I have missed. I know that I've missed a lot. So I may have to do another. Your song homework to listen to by Blue October. Actually, it's Justin, in light of just seeing him at the acoustic concert. I'm so sorry about the marking. I actually love it because she's awesome. But your homework is Sorry Hearts by Justin Furstenfeld, and it's on the Open Book album on Spotify, 2017. He's wearing a red vest and there are beautiful yellow tulips on the table. That's how you'll know it's the right album. So the song is Sorry Hearts. And I think that's just about everything. I hope you've enjoyed the beauty that surrounds us, and I will sign off for now. Remember, everything is better with wool and a podcast. So enjoy. Have a blessed week, y'all. Bye. See ya.